What's going on?
I think my wife was murdered, man.
How many times had she been shot?
There were 3 shots. The shot that killed her went into her head.
Cold-blooded and heartless.
Tiffany did not stand a chance. She was going to die that night.
She's my heart, man. What am I gonna do, man?
I couldn't protect my daughter. You would never get over losing a child.
There was a black car. The driver's side front light was out.
We got all of the phone calls that were being made in that area.
They asked him, where were you on the night of the murder? He completely lied.
She said, girl, he ran to the trash can and just started throwing up.
What was it about this case that impacted you on such a deeply emotional level?
This one is the most gut-wrenching cases that I've ever worked. I haven't gotten over it yet.
Tonight, we're on the case in East Point, Georgia. This upscale suburb of Atlanta seemed an unlikely place for a home invasion murder. But that's exactly what was reported to police during a disturbing 911 call. Tiffany Pugh, a loving wife and mother, had been gunned down in her bed while her 2 children slept just steps away. The tragedy discovered inside the home was almost beyond description, and what the investigation ultimately revealed defied imagination. November 23rd, 2014. Residents of East Point, Georgia were enjoying the quiet pre-dawn hours of a peaceful Sunday morning when the wail of police sirens suddenly shattered the silence. Every available officer responded to a desperate call for help. Who called 911 and what did he have to report?
Andre Pugh wanted to report that his house had been broken into and that his wife had been killed.
What's going on?
I think my wife was murdered, man.
Andre, a nightclub DJ, told dispatchers that he had just finished his shift when he was alerted that his home security system had been triggered.
Oh my God, the ADT called me, somebody broke into my house.
Okay.
The operator asked Andre to stay on the line until officers arrived.
Oh my God. Please, Lord, please, not this, not today. Not today, man.
What did they find?
When the officers first arrived, he was saying that my children are in the home still. There was a 2-year-old child. He was pretty distraught.
As officers made their way through the home, they made a gruesome discovery in a first-floor guest room.
They found Miss Tiffany Pugh dead inside of her bedroom. She was obviously deceased. She had been shot in the head.
Andre thought his youngest child was sleeping, but when police entered the crime scene, they made a disturbing discovery.
Her child was there with her. The child was not injured, but trying to wake up his mother.
The child was actually in her bed, and they had to take the child. It was heartbreaking for everybody involved. It was so sad.
If you have a child of your own or a wife around that age, it just makes it more personal. It was a bad scene.
The only comfort first responders could find was the fact that none of the children had been injured in the attack. They were reunited with their devastated father outside. Sergeant Alan Glover immediately took charge of the investigation.
When I got here, there were several officers in the driveway, They were explaining to me that there was a back window and a back door open. And so I looked to the right, and you could see this gate was wide open.
Detective Glover walked through the gate and began to assess the crime scene. He saw signs that this was the same way the killer had entered the backyard, looking for a place to get into the house. And that theory was quickly backed up by what investigators uncovered next.
We found an open window, and it appeared that somebody had come through that window. There was no screen on it.
Sergeant Glover also noticed that a side door to the home was ajar. He concluded it was left that way when the killer made his escape.
There was no door activation on the alarm. That would have activated had they come in the door.
Why do you think the killer didn't go out the way he came in?
When the alarm went off, probably scared the intruder and panicked and just ran out the door.
After surveying the exterior of the home, the homicide detective made his way inside the large, well-cared-for house.
What struck you when you walked inside the home for the first time?
I noticed there wasn't really anything out of place. Home was not in disarray or anything.
For Sergeant Glover, the relatively neat crime scene was puzzling, and the mystery deepened when he entered the bedroom where Tiffany Pugh had been killed. Ballistics analysis helped investigators determine how the attack had unfolded.
How many times had she been shot?
There were 3 shots. The first shot missed, and it went through her headboard and out the back of her home. Another shot went under her breast and her chest, and the shot that we think killed her was the one that went into her head.
The trajectory rods investigators used told a grim story. It appeared the first 2 shots had been fired from just inside the doorway, before a final blast had been discharged at point-blank range.
We were able to tell an angle the person was standing over her.
So she was shot execution style.
Absolutely.
Did officers believe she likely was ambushed in her sleep?
Yes, she was asleep in her bed.
Anytime you see somebody shot in the head, you can conclude it wasn't to injure her. It was to kill her.
Although it was clear someone wanted Tiffany Pugh dead, trying to find the reason why was far more challenging.
Was there evidence of a sexual assault?
There was no evidence of a sexual assault.
Were you ever able to establish if anything had gone missing from the home?
We determined that nothing was taken from the home.
Was there a clear motive in this murder?
Absolutely not. Miss Pugh was very well known in the community, very well liked. She was a great mother, a great wife, great family member. We were stumped.
The lack of physical evidence was also problematic. The murder weapon wasn't found, nor were the shell casings. A careful examination also failed to reveal any shoe prints or fingerprints the killer had left behind.
We didn't find anything of value as far as evidence goes.
As Tiffany's body was taken to the Fulton County Medical Examiner's office for autopsy, there was only one thing that investigators knew for sure.
Tiffany did not stand a chance. In the intruder's mind, she was going to die that night.
As detectives in East Point, Georgia, began their investigation into the murder of 30-year-old Tiffany Jackson Pugh, her father, Tommy, was waking up to every parent's worst nightmare.
How did you get the news that Tiffany had been murdered?
Early Sunday morning, I got a phone call, and they said, "We think you ought to sit down." Tiffany was murdered last night.
Tommy was stunned. His precious daughter was dead, just 5 months after he had tragically lost his wife to a sudden case of pneumonia. As he boarded a flight from Las Vegas to Atlanta, he was flooded with memories of the good times they had all shared.
When I think of Tiffany, I think about the first day she was born. I think about me helping her mother deliver and then watching her grow up.
Tiffany was the kind of child every father dreams of. She was smart, fun-loving, and driven to succeed. It was no surprise to her parents that when it came time for college, she had a detailed plan.
Did you admire her sense of independence?
Yes, we did. She wanted to come to Atlanta to go to a black university. And so we agreed to let her do that. She was focused on what she wanted to do in life, and she was pursuing it.
Tiffany met Andre Pugh and fell in love with him during her senior year at Clark University. Soon after, she graduated with a degree in business, landed a job at Delta Airlines, and quickly rose through the ranks in the company.
She started off as a customer service representative, but she was promoted to a commodity manager 2 years before her death.
While Tiffany's career flourished, Andre was also making a name for himself. He was known as DJ Awesome in Atlanta's thriving nightclub scene. When they got married during an intimate ceremony on Valentine's Day in 2009, they instantly became one of the city's power couples.
The wedding itself, he had just the immediate family, and then the reception had everybody else. Tiffany's best friend was the maid of honor, and his best friend was the groomsman.
Did Tiffany seem happy?
She seemed very happy.
A joy that grew as she and Andre welcomed 2 children into the world.
What was she like as a mother?
She was a caring mother. She basically followed her mother's footsteps.
Tiffany seemed to have it all: a growing career, a beautiful family, and a wonderful home in the exclusive suburb of East Point.
Was it considered a safe neighborhood to live in?
That is a safe neighborhood. High-end homes. She had everything going for her.
Of all the interviews we did with everybody that knew Miss Pugh, not one person had a bad thing to say about her. Everybody loved her.
Did the fact that she was so beloved further deepen the mystery?
It did. It was confusing.
Police hoped that Tiffany's autopsy might give the investigation direction.
What did the medical examiner determine was the cause of Tiffany's death?
The gunshot to her head penetrated her brain and caused her death.
Tiffany didn't have any defensive wounds, and there was no hair, fibers, or DNA collected. But as Sergeant Glover continued processing the Pugh's home, he discovered something that might be the key to solving the case.
I noticed that there were cameras all around the house. Camera on the front, another camera on the front, cameras all around the side of the house and all inside.
How many cameras made up the system?
He had like 6 or 7 cameras in place.
As detectives reviewed the video, they hoped it had captured a clue that could help solve the case.
We were hopeful we would see a vehicle, maybe a face.
The investigators were in luck. The cameras captured a dark-colored car pulling up to the home just moments before the alarm was triggered. Still, the exterior camera didn't provide police with the car's license plate number. And Detective Glover was even more frustrated when he realized it also didn't get a shot of the driver exiting the car.
I'm thinking it's detective's luck. You know, I've got to work a little harder at this.
But the hard work didn't pay off. Did you ever see the killer on camera?
No. Mr. Pugh had cameras all over the outside of the house and all over the inside of the house, but none of the routes taken by the killer were in view of any of those.
Could you come up with any explanation as to how that could happen?
It's possible that he could have got lucky. We've had cases before where a camera skip, if it's motion activated, if they're slow enough in their actions, it won't catch the movement. There's a whole variety of reasons that he would not have been captured.
But there was one particularly troubling explanation that detectives focused on.
The person could be familiar with the camera system and had known where those cameras were placed.
And that startling possibility made sitting down with Tiffany's grieving husband, Andre, a top priority for police. Investigators trying to solve the murder of Tiffany Pugh had to take a hard look at her husband, Andre. Detectives asked him to walk them through his whereabouts in the hours leading up to his wife's murder.
What did he tell you about what he did Saturday night going into Sunday morning?
Andre was one of the DJs at a local club called Club Onyx, and he was working the club that night. He had said that he had left that club when he got the phone call from the alarm company.
Andre said at first he wasn't concerned.
I said, if you don't mind, can you just turn off the alarm? That way you don't wake up the kids.
He initially told them to go ahead and cut the alarm off, assuming it would be a false alarm.
Andre was just a short drive from home.
At that point, I called my wife. I called her 3 times. She didn't answer.
Worried, Andre called his boss, Cliff, and asked him to meet him at his home.
My house was pretty dark. Only thing I noticed was my side gate open. I never leave my side gate open. Then I go into the house.
Andre walked down the hall to the entrance of the bedroom where Tiffany was sleeping. He called her name, and when she didn't answer, he panicked.
I was scared. I ain't gonna lie, I was scared. If I say babe, babe, she normally wakes up, especially if I'm in a panic mode. She can hear me.
Andre called 911. Minutes later, patrol cars arrived.
I said, my wife is not moving. Somebody please go in there and check on her.
Andre couldn't understand why anyone would want to hurt his wife.
How did Andre Pugh characterize his marriage?
He characterized it as a good marriage.
He said they're a great family, they get along, they are happy, they have trials and tribulations like anybody else.
What am I gonna do, man? It's my heart, man. She gave me 2 of the beautifulest kids I could ever imagine. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Through his tears, Andre explained why Tiffany had been sleeping in the guest room and not the master bedroom that morning.
Every Saturday, she sleeps downstairs. That way I can sleep upstairs and get a proper rest. Because I get home by 5:30 in the morning.
Andre's story was heartbreaking, but investigators still had to verify his statement.
Did the alarm company confirm they had called Andre that morning?
Yes.
In fact, the records the company provided gave investigators critical information. In particular, the details of how and when the Pugh's alarm had actually been set off. The family's home was equipped with glass break sensors on the windows. The one in the living room and the one in the guest bedroom where Tiffany was sleeping had been activated, even though neither window was open or broken. Police instantly knew what had actually activated them.
Any loud, immediate noise can set off a glass break sensor.
Do you believe the alarm was triggered by the gunshots?
I do. That was the time that the gunshots were fired.
According to Andre, he was nowhere near his home when he received the call from the alarm company. And his first call was to his boss, Cliff. Detectives interviewed Cliff to make sure.
I got a phone call about 6:05 a.m. From DJ Assam. He says my house has been broken into. They went into the basement. I said, do you need me to come to the house? He's like, yeah, come to the house.
Cliff said he arrived a few minutes before police.
They went into the house. They told us to stay out here. And I was just trying to console him.
He told us where he was at the time that Mr. Pugh called him. Cell phone records matched.
Although Cliff's story verified Andre's account, police had to be certain. They asked Andre for a cell phone and gave him a gunpowder residue test.
What happened after Andre Pugh got his hands swabbed for gunpowder residue?
The results came back negative.
Investigators were confident that Andre Pugh had not been the person who shot and killed his wife. But during the long emotional interview, Andre mentioned a startling new possibility for police to investigate.
I work at Club Onyx. I'm not sure if you know, but a DJ was murdered in January that worked with us, right in front of his doorstep.
Just 10 months earlier, William Fernando Barnes, a.k.a. DJ Nando, had been gunned down.
What were some of the similarities between the two murders?
Middle of the night, ambush style, seemed to be targeted.
DJ Nando's murder was still unsolved. And that raised a chilling question.
Did it cross your mind that maybe Andre Pugh had been the intended victim that night?
We had to open up that avenue to investigate.
Detectives trying to solve Tiffany Pugh's murder had begun to explore the idea she was not the gunman's intended target. It now seemed possible that the shooter had actually meant to kill her husband, Andre. One of his fellow DJs had been shot in a similar late-night ambush.
The common denominator was Club Onyx. We made contact with Clayton County Police for their findings on that case.
I got a copy of the case file so that I could see if I had anything that matched up, anybody that was involved in that, involved in my case.
No names in the file were linked, but details Andre's coworkers shared about his growing success as a DJ caught investigators' attention.
When I met DJ Awesome, he was a regular family man, a hard worker, married the love of his life. He was a normal guy. But as the club got more and more popular, the fame got to him. The rumors around the club was that when he leaves work, he would take girls home with him.
And police learned that those rumors had made their way back to Tiffany.
As you interviewed more of Tiffany's family and friends, what picture emerged of their marriage?
The marriage was in turmoil.
But it wasn't until detectives sat down with Tiffany's father, Tommy Jackson, that they discovered just how far the relationship had crumbled. In fact, Tommy said his daughter had recently confided in him that she wanted out.
She said, I'm going to divorce Andre. I said, well, when are you going to tell him?
Tommy was shocked when he found out that his daughter had already told Andre about her plan.
She said, I decided to tell him. She said he didn't indicate that he was super angry about it or anything like that. He basically accepted it.
Tommy said he was very close to his son-in-law, so he reached out to him to see how he was handling the breakup.
He told me, Mr. Jackson, everything's gonna be all right.
News of the couple's impending divorce left detectives stunned.
What was your reaction to learning that?
Quite honestly, up to this point, things just weren't making sense to me. In all murders, you have to have a motive. And these interviews gave me a motive to work.
As detectives followed up on the lead, more pieces of the puzzle fell into place.
Was Andre having financial problems at the time?
He was horrible with money. He never had money. She had the money. He was borrowing money from her.
What would Andre Pugh have stood to lose in a divorce?
The house, his possessions. If she leaves him, all this is gone.
Detectives believed their case was coming together. But there were still several huge obstacles for them to clear. The most challenging one was Andre's airtight alibi.
The problem that I had with this information is, based on Mr. Pugh's cell phone, he wasn't at the location at the time of the murder. He did not shoot Tiffany Pugh.
But Tommy Jackson wasn't finished helping out the detectives on the case.
Police told you they didn't find anything directly linking Andre to the murder. He didn't fire the gun. And then you asked them a critical question. What was that?
To get the second phone, they said, what second phone? And I said, here's the phone number. He has a second phone.
Detectives stopped the interview and raced out to get a search warrant. They were certain that the secrets hidden in Andre's second phone would be the key to solving Tiffany Pugh's murder. Andre Pugh had suddenly reemerged as a suspect in his wife's murder, thanks to a tip from Tommy Jackson.
What was your reaction when Tiffany's father told you that Andre had two phones?
I wrote up a search warrant and I went to the house and I got that second cell phone.
And that second phone revealed evidence of everything Andre had been hiding from police, including text exchanges with his wife.
As you read through some of the text messages that went back and forth between Tiffany and Andre, what picture emerged?
She was leaving and he wasn't going to let her. She actually, in one of her text messages, said, I'm not going to allow you to continue to threaten me.
What was your reaction to that?
At that point, I felt like I was on the right track to solving this.
The investigation accelerated as police re-listened to interviews done on the morning of the murder. They focused on an odd detail Andre's boss had mentioned.
Says, I just got a call from the alarm company that my house has been broken into. They went into the basement.
But the alarm company never told Andre anything about the basement window in the backyard. They only knew about glass break sensors being tripped on windows in the living room and the guest bedroom. That raised a critical question for Andre Pugh.
How do you know that an intruder came through your basement when you haven't been home yet?
What did you make of that?
Mr. Pugh is involved in his wife's murder, but he's not the one that pulled the trigger. So now I have to broaden the net again.
And investigators quickly got help widening that net. One of the Pugh's neighbors had just discovered images recorded by their surveillance cameras minutes before the murder. What did the neighbors' surveillance video show from that morning?
There were 2 cars passing by the home and then going around the block and coming back. So there were 2 cars that were involved in this murder.
Who did you think was in the second car?
I felt like one of the cars was Andre Pugh talking to whoever committed the murder.
The video was dark, and neither car was identifiable. But Sergeant Glover made a critical observation.
One of the driver's side lights were missing.
Investigators knew the car with the missing light was not Andre Pugh's, but they did believe there was a way to figure out who was behind the wheel. They collected records from the cell tower that serviced the Pugh's neighborhood and collected the numbers of every phone accessing it during a 3-hour window.
We got all of the phone calls that were being made in that area.
Detectives then cross-referenced the numbers in that report against the contact lists in both of Andre Pugh's cell phones.
There was a phone number that matched, and that phone number said Adrian.
Who was Adrian?
Adrian was a good friend of Andre's.
In fact, Adrian Harley was more than a good friend. He was the best man at Andre's wedding, the godfather of the couple's son, and a pallbearer at Tiffany's funeral. And any doubts that Harley was the prime suspect in her murder were erased when police showed up at his home.
When you went to interview Adrian, did you notice anything distinctive about his car?
We did.
What was that?
Adrian's black Infiniti had the same driver's side running light out as the one in the surveillance video.
What went through your mind when you saw that?
I had the shooter.
When investigators spoke with Harley, they kept their evidence a secret and locked him into a story.
They asked him, where were you on the night of the murder? And he completely lied.
In the eyes of police, the lie was almost as good as a confession.
At that point, did you think you had enough evidence to arrest both men for Tiffany's murder?
I did. I contacted the district attorney, and they gave the go-ahead.
Sabrina Ramey will never forget the call she got describing Adrian Harley's visit to Club Onyx to tell Andre that he had just been interviewed by police.
My friend said Adrian just came in here and whispered something to Awesome. And she said, girl, he ran to the trash can and just started throwing up.
Moments later, Andre Pugh was arrested. And in this tape-recorded interview, he said that Adrian's warning was actually a confession.
He came in the booth, he hugged me. He said, listen, I killed your wife. And I said, what the are you talking about? Are you insane?
Did you ask him why he killed your wife?
Adrian has a real bad temper. She accused Adrian of stealing some money from her. And he got pissed off about that.
The first thing that Andre Pugh did was throw his friend under the bus.
But investigators had a mountain of evidence that proved Andre's story was just a desperate attempt to deny his role in the murder.
That statement gave me comfort in knowing we got the 2 people who did this.
And despite the fact that Andre had laid all the blame on him, Adrian Harley refused to talk.
I do not feel comfortable speaking about that without a lawyer because I don't know anything.
Harley also refused to testify against his best friend. But police had more than enough to charge both of them with the murder of Tiffany Pugh. For Tommy Jackson, seeing his son-in-law in the courtroom was heartbreaking.
during the trial. I'm thinking about how he destroyed his life, my life, his children's life, everybody's life around them, and how could you do that?
Tommy listened carefully as prosecutors explained that Andre Pugh was the mastermind behind his daughter's murder. He left the window open in his basement for Harley to enter. He devised a path through his surveillance cameras, and he told his best friend which bedroom Tiffany would be sleeping in. And the deadly plot might have actually worked if not for the one detail he hadn't anticipated.
Their downfall was the alarm. That was their downfall.
Neither one of them thought that the gunfire would trigger both the dining room alarm and the front room alarm. Messed their entire plan up.
The alarm put a timestamp on the crime and shattered any alibi Andre Pugh may have set up. The shock also led him to make a series of mistakes just after he received the call. But in the end, it was the discovery of his second cell phone that made his role in the crime crystal clear.
When they found that second phone, they found the incriminating evidence of him talking back and forth to his best friend.
For the jury, those calls and texts were damning. Andre Pugh was found guilty of all charges.
Describe what you were feeling when the guilty verdict came down.
I felt a sense of relief. I felt sad, too, that we're sending my son-in-law to prison for the rest of his life.
The case against Adrian Harley was less emotional and much easier to prosecute. Police had cell phone and video evidence that placed him at the scene of the crime.
His Google location put him on the streets at the time of the murder.
Based on everything you know about the case, what do you think happened that morning?
I think that they made the plan, and it's supposed to happen earlier than it did. Maybe Adrian was having second thoughts. He circled the home multiple times before going in. At one point, Andre told him, "You gotta go in. It's now or never." And he went inside, walked into the room that no one else knew Tiffany was sleeping in, and executed her in cold blood.
How much planning do you think went into the murder?
I think they probably planned it for weeks. Probably some dry runs with the camera system off. They practiced it.
The audacity. Cold-blooded. That's what I would call that's heartless.
I've worked a lot of cases, and this one is probably at the top of the list as far as the most gut-wrenching cases that I've ever worked.
When the jury returned with its verdict in the second trial, one part of Tommy Jackson's torment came to an end.
When Harley was found guilty, did you finally feel that justice had been served?
I felt justice was now served. We can now close this case and move on with our lives.
But the void Harley and Pugh left in Tommy's life will never be filled.
I couldn't protect my daughter. I still don't know today why he didn't come to me. We talked all the time. Why didn't you come to me before you made that devastating step?
What do you miss most about Tiffany?
I miss her smiles. I miss her showing up, telling us that she loved us. I miss seeing her. You'll never get over losing a child.
police continue to investigate the possibility that Andre Pugh and Adrian Harley were also involved in the murder of his coworker, DJ Nando. I'm Paula Zahn. Please join us again next time when we're back on the case.